You have a mother-daughter pair, so you're wondering how on earth do you tell them apart? One large white whale looks an awful lot like the other. Well, genetically they do look very similar, but how about on the count of three, we put your limited beluga knowledge to the test. On the count of three, I want you to point to the animal that you think is the younger. His name is Keela. Is Keela working with Bobby over on the island? Is Keela working here with Nikki? On the count of three, make your choice. 1, 2, 3. If you were pointing to the animal working with Bobby, hang your head in shame. If you're pointing to the animal working with Nikki, give yourself a round of applause. You are correct. And if you're thinking, well, this is a ridiculous contest, I have no idea what I'm doing, you're all right. Because, yeah, they do look very similar. However, one of them is actually white, because these animals are not born white. As they get older and older, they do get whiter and whiter, because they're born gray. Does anyone here have any mammals in their life that are getting older and whiter? Yeah, we understand that. Oh, hello! However, that should give you some indication as to where you find beluga whales. And yes, they are Canada's most abundant whale, but that is the case. Where are we hiding them all? Can anyone tell me? Where do you find beluga whales? Silent oceans, you are correct. I know, they're primarily an Arctic species of whale. However, you will also find them in the St. Lawrence, where they're usually a little bit more used to people. But both these areas are known to be quite cold. And that brings up some interesting questions, because even with a limited amount of beluga knowledge, looking at these animals, they look, well, a little on the large side. How do they find enough food, enough energy to put on those pounds in a place that is as cold as the Arctic, or the St. Lawrence River for that matter? Well, these animals have lived in these areas for millennia, and they have adapted to their surroundings by, well, doing what animals do, adapting. And both of these areas are known to have quite a lot of ice. And in the Arctic, in the St. Lawrence, on the ice itself, algae grows. Which is very exciting. However, if you look at our exhibits, the algae growing on the rocks, completely natural, completely normal. But in the Arctic, it grows on the ice as well. And belugas, they don't eat ice, they don't eat algae, but there's small things that eat the algae. And they get bigger and bigger, and you end up at the top of the food chain. And that's where these animals are. And so, researchers know the biodiversity in the Arctic, in terms of the amount of animals that live together, is quite staggering. And it's because of this that, yeah, belugas are able to find enough food to actually eat. Now, you may be thinking, well, if we know so much about the Arctic in terms of the biodiversity, is there anything else to know? Well, to put things into perspective, we've been studying the human body for about 2,300 years, from tip to tail. And do you think we have anything new to discover? Well, just last year, looking not in our tails, but in our ligament that was actually discovered.